Shri GURUBHYO NAMAHA. Yes, respected friends, hearty welcome, salutations, gratitudes, and congratulations to be on this path so relentlessly. Very good. Let us do our Veda Parayanam, common sense thought, Mangalacharana Shloka Sankalpa, and our Upanishad Adhyanam as we do every day with all that beautiful heart and again to beautify and divinize the heart. Rigveda, we are doing 7th Mandalam, we have to do from 33rd Anuvaka. 33rd, 34th, more than enough, they are too big. Om Atha Veda Parayanam Rigvedaha Atha Saptama Mandalam Trayastrimshat Anuvakad Arabhya Om Shvityam Choma Dakshinataskaparthadhiyan Jinvaso Avihipramanduho Uttishtan Voce Paribarhisho Nruname Duradavitave Vasishtaha Duradindramanayanna Sutena Tiro Vaishantamatipantamugram Pashadyumnasya Vayatasya Somat सुतादिन्द्रो वृणीतावसिष्ठान् एवेन्नुकं सिन्धु मेभिस्तथा रेवेन्नुकं भेदमेभिर्जघान एवेन्नुकं दाशराग्ने सुदासं प्रावदिन्द्रो ब्रह्मणा वो वसिष्ठाः जुष्टीनरो ब्रह्मणा वः पितॄणामक्षमव्ययं न किलादिशाथ यच्छक्वरीषु बृहतारवेणेन्द्रे शुष्ममदधातावसिष्ठाः उद्दामितृष्णजो नाथितासो दीदयुर्दाशराज्ञे ऋतासः वसिष्ठस्य स्तुवत इन्द्रो अश्रोधुरुं तृत्सुभ्यो अकृणोदु लोकं दण्डा इवेद्गो अजनास आसन् परिच्छिन्ना भरता अर्भकासः अभवच्च पुर एतावसिष्ठ आदित्युत्सूनां विशो अप्रथन्त त्रयः कृण्वन्ति भुवनेषु रेतस्तिस्रः प्रजा आर्या ज्योतिरग्राः त्रयो घर्मास उषसं सजन्ते सर्वागम् इत्ता अनुविदुरवसिष्ठाः सूर्यस्येव वक्षतो ज्योतिरेषां समुद्रस्येव महिमा गभीरः वातस्येव प्रजवो नान्येन स्तोमो वसिष्ठा अन्वेतवेवः तैन्निण्यं हृदयस्य प्रकेतैः सहस्रवर्षमभिसञ्चरन्ते यमेन ततं परिधिं वयन्तोऽप्सरसौपसेदुर्वसिष्ठाः विद्युतो ज्योतिः परिसञ्जिहानं मित्रावरुणाय दभश्यदान्त्वा तत्तेजनोत्मैकं वसिष्ठागस्यो यत्वा विष आजभार उदासि मैत्रावरुणो वसिष्ठोर्वश्या ब्रह्मन्मनसोऽधिजात पुष्करे त्वाददन्त न प्रकेत उभयस्य प्रविद्वान् सहस्रदान उत वासदानः यमेन ततं परिधिं पयिष्यन्नप्सरस परिजज्ञे वसिष्ठः सत्रेह जाता विशिता नमोभिः कुम्भेरेतः शिशिदतुः समानं ततो हमानौदियाय मध्यात् ततो जातं ऋषिमाहुर्वसिष्ठम् उक्थभृतं सामभृतं बिभर्ति ग्रावाणं बिभ्रत्प्रवदात्यग्रे उपैनमाध्वं सुमनस्य माना आवो गच्छाति प्रतृतो वसिष्ठः प्रशुक्रैतु देवी 34 also little bigger chant प्रशुक्रैतु देवी मनीषा अस्मत्सुतष्टो रथो न वाजे विदुः पृथिव्या दिवो जनित्रं शृण्वन्त्यापो अधक्षरन्तीः आपश्चिदस्मै पिन्वन्त पृथ्वीर्वृत्रेषु शूरामं सन्त उग्राः आधूर्ष्वस्मै दधाताश्वानिन्द्रो न वज्री हिरण्यबाहुः अभिप्रस्थाता हेव यज्ञं यातेव पद्मन्त्मना हिनोत त्मना समत्सु हिनोत यज्ञं ददातु केतुं जनाय वीरम् उदस्य शुष्मात् भानुर्नार्तविभर्ति भारं पृथिवी न भूम हवयामि देवा अयातुरग्ने साधनृतेन धियं ददामि अभिवो देवीं धियं दधिध्वं प्रवो देवत्रा वाचं कृणुध्वम् आचष्ट आसां पाथो नदीनां वरुण उग्र सहस्रजक्षाः राजा राष्ट्राणां पेशो नदीनामनुत्तमस्मै क्षत्रं विश्वायो आविष्टो अस्मान् विश्वासु विक्ष्वद्युं कृणोत शंसं निनित्सोः वेतु दिद्युद्विषामशेवायुयोत विश्वग्रप्तस्तनूनाम् अवीन्नो अग्निर्हव्यान्नमोऽभि प्रेष्ठो अस्मा अदायि स्तोमः सजोर्देवेभिरपां सबातं सखायं कृध्वं शिवो नो अस्तो अब्जा मुक्तैरहिं गृणीषे बुध्ने नदीनां रजः सुषीदन् मानो हिर्बुध्न्यो ऋषेदान्मा यज्ञो अस्य श्रिदधृतायोः उदन एषु नृशुश्रवोदु प्ररायेयं तु शर्धन्तो अर्यः तपन्ति शत्रुं स्वर्णभूमा महासेनासो अमेभिरेषाम् आयन्नः पत्नीर्गमन्त्यच्छात्त्वष्टासु पाणिर्दधातु वीरान् प्रतिनस्तोमम् त्वष्टाजुषे तस्यादस्मे हरमतिर्वसूयुः तानो रासन् रातिशाचो वसून्या रोदसी वरुणानि शृणोतो वरोत्रिभिः सुशरणो नो अस्तु त्वष्टा सुदत्रो विदधातु रायः तन्नो रायः पर्वतास्तन्न आपस्तद्रातिशाच ओषधीरुतद्यौः वनस्पतिभिः पृथिवी सजोषा उभे रोदसी परिपासतो नः अनुततुर्वीरोदसी जिहातामनुद्युक्षो वरुण इन्द्रसखा अनुविश्वे मरुतो ये सहासोराय श्यामदरुणं धियध्यै तन्न इन्द्रो वरुणो मित्रो अग्निरापौषधीर्वनिनो जुषन्त शर्मन् श्याम मरुतामुपस्ते यूयं पात स्वस्तिभिः सदा नः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः Shantihi. What a beautiful thing. When we keep on doing these chantings, little by little, maybe after some time, the word's meanings start appealing. More than that, these things become such a good samskaras that in the Uttara Janma, right from beginning only, we will be given the blessings to be in touch with the Shastras or Upanishads or these Veda mantras. I to do all this with that idea only that our further life should be better than this one in terms of our being in touch with our Sanatana Dharma, Veda Vedanta Shastras. Friends, in today's common sense thought, the discussion is very simple to save time. Key, just see, think for yourself, like everything is told only. Finally, the thinking about it, what is told, understanding it, accepting it, living life according to it is always one's own choice. Now, today's thought is what? Can we try to analyze, visualize everything that is happening in the world, happening in our life, and everything that which we are supposed to do. Can we visualize all this, analyze all this, understand all this, assess all this from the spiritual standpoint? है ना? So far, at our ignorance level, even spirituality also, we start seeing from the worldly standpoint. As we assess, comprehend, analyze the world and worldliness, same way we were looking at spirituality also, which is not the correct way. But can we now become wise enough after those so many years of listening to the Upanishad Shastras to visualize everything in our life from the Adhyatmika Drustikona, from the spiritual angle? With this, what will happen? First thing is, solutions definitely will come to everything. Second is what? Even if somewhere there is delay in solutions, yet because we are visualizing from the spiritual standpoint, therefore we are in touch with the spiritual way of looking at the things, therefore we are safe, isn't it? We are safe because we are in the hands of the spiritual way of thinking. So start, whatever it may be. And economical, let us say, starting with losses, economical gains, or economical stabilities. These are only three things that's possible in the world regarding money, isn't it? So all the three look from the Adhyatmika standpoint. And like if we have very good economy or money status, understand that it is the great our punya phala, aradhana phala. So give importance to the anugraha of the devata and our upasana done. That way look at the riches if we have. If we have the sufficient money only, that also look at from the standpoint that Ishvara wanted to give us only that much money with which we survive. He is saving us from giving excess money because we know when the money is too much, how we are lost. In trying to save it, increase it, expand it, protect it, etc. etc. And this is God's Krupa on me. Then the third one, if you have very less money, that also should be looked from the Adhyatmika Drishtikona that na karmana, na prajaya, na dhanena, and tyagena eke amrutatva manasa. To be introverted and spiritual, all whatever I have to do the tyaga of it. Or everybody will have to do the tyaga. In my case, even that effort is also not required because already I myself don't have the money. So, not having the money is a blessing again from the Lord telling me to focus on to the self. You see that looking the three statuses of money from the worldly standpoint are when too much of money is there, too much of spending it going everywhere for picnics or parties and shoppings, etc. Gayo jindagi. Then the mediocre money is there. Always there is fear inside. कि इस महीने राशन के लिए काफी होगा कि नहीं. Naturally, when there is no money, there is misery. Excessive use, fear or misery are the general ways of people. When the money is in excess or insufficiency or in insufficiency. But if we look at spiritually, this is the way. Think about it. Then yenakena prakarena bhagwan harihi smartavya, we will be able to do it, isn't it? In the same way about the people who are good in number in our life as friends, relatives, etc. People mediocre in our life, only few are there. है ना? एक एक को अपने जिंदगी के अलग अलग समयों में ये सब ऐसे ही होते हैं, whether it is money or people, sometime excessive or maximum, other time mediocre. Then in everybody's life, that time comes wherein very minimum people are around. Maximum wife, husband, children also gone somewhere. Grandchildren are busy. One or two maybe servants, 1 hour, 2 hour, they come and go. Brothers, sisters, they have become elderly, immobile. They are busy in their own karobar, again their samsara. Some of them are somewhere in business, in politics, in eating, drinking, sleeping. Everybody अपने में मस्त रहते हैं. Isn't it? Like people don't come to this class means somewhere they are busy. Either in sleeping, in drinking, in jogging, in walking, in yoga. जो भी जिंदा है उनके बारे में. So everybody is engaged in their own way. So they don't come. So we should know it. So in this way, for whatever reason, very many people are there in our life. Isn't it? Worldly way of looking at it is what? Responding, reacting. Lot of people, then too much of communications, invitations, then when they invite, we go, oh halla gulla. It will give some type of pleasure, no doubt. But then spiritually looked at, it is not the right thing. So too the mediocre, some few people are there, then there is proximity, then familiarity, then contempt. These things continue. When few are the people, like wife and husband दोनों ही रहते हैं, 24 घंटे लड़ते रहते, सपने में भी लड़ते हैं. Even with all spiritual samskara, spiritual programs done, both of them come from their gufa after their spiritual practice. हाँ शुरू करो, तुम शुरू करोगी कि मैं करो? क्या क्या हमेशा मैं ही करती हूँ, अब करो. Some are the issue they take up. दिन भर they लड़ाई करो for no reason, for simple reason, है ना? Absolutely meaningless reasons. They become angry with each other, they fight. It's a big joke. Or with anybody, even with nobody has servant, वो लड़ो. This is the way happens when few people are there. Familiarity के कारण होने वाला disrespect, taking the people for granted. And each one tries to prove himself great or herself great than the other. They never realize that both are not great. But Narayana. Then very few people are there means what? Then the loneliness feeling from the worldly standpoint. And अब look at it as spiritual standpoint. So many people are there. Good. See the Lord in all of them. Invite them for your spiritual programs. Use it that way. Don't miss the spirituality. So too, people are mediocre in number with you. बैठ के करो ना spiritual गुफ्तगू, whatever they call, I don't know the right word. The spiritual discussion you can have. Only 2-3 people are there. चलो बैठो भाई. 10 लोग हैं तो ज्यादा टेंशन होता है. 2-3 लोग बैठकर स्टडी रामायण और भागवत. She is studying, chanting, you listen. You chant 10 minutes, she will listen. What a beautiful way it is. You know, the first trupti of able to spend some time, something related to the God itself is so great. And in that, if you become deep, intense, then the gainings are so much spiritual knowledge. It is a great fulfillment. You know? It's like this, remember, because daily the wife husband fight with each other, then they feel embarrassed to sit together to study Shastra. It is the other way around also. That if both of them decide to sit and study Shastra together, they'll be embarrassed to fight with each other, with egos later on. Which is better? दोनों मिलकर शास्त्र पढ़ रहे हैं, तो जब भी ईगो आ जाती है, लड़ाई करनी होती है, immediately the sixth sense or the intellect says, अरे हाउ कैन आई, वी आर स्टडिंग टुगेदर शास्त्र. तो दोनों का हृदय या बुद्धि काम करने का चांस है, आई कांट गारंटी. So that they won't quarrel in each other. They understand each other, respect, love each other in the heart. You can't express the love all the time outside. But inside you can have that respect maintained whenever remembered. Now the third one, when nobody is there, very few, all alone. Hare, what great than this? Sit, do your own backlog works of. You are studying Shastras, you are making the notes, you are achieving the targets of your own japa, learning newer and newer stotras. How many things can be done? Most fortunate if you are with minimum people or all alone. That's the most golden period in life to do and grow spiritually. Look at spiritual standpoint, isn't it? Anything. Again, let us say another example of death or bereavement. Somebody died. So we can become miserable so much depending on the attachment depth we have, depending on the other person helping us in our life. Accordingly, we become miserable. Generally, with selfishness only, we become miserable. Not for that person. है ना? ये तो फिर very subtle thought है, subtle truth है. Everybody knows open secret. Anyways, so then one way is that way becoming like a worldly mundane person, becoming miserable and saying all pseudo philosophical sentences कि बंदा इतना अच्छा था अब चला गया, what will happen to his wife or children and all. This is any useless fellow will say that. From spiritually, if you see it, that jiva had that prarabdha in this sharira to stay for such long time, such time he stayed. He echoed out his own experiences of prarabdha. Then, knowingly, unknowingly, whatever he had to do, he has done it. Now, वो पंछी के अंदर से उड़ गई या पंछी उड़ गई डाल में से, डाल या डाली, डाल से. So he is gone to some other sharira. He will go. Same type of setup he will have. He will continue his journey either of samsara or of spirituality or of mixture, depending on whatever he is. तो what is there to become miserable? ठीक है नहीं. Mentally पहले ही पूरा आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान है, मानो कि there is no death, it's only changing from one sharira to the other of the jiva, individuality, till he realizes he is the self or the Brahman or the Atman. Isn't it? Whether it is an individual death or a collective death through some accidents or earthquakes, tsunamis, it appears to be they died together. No, each individual, कोई पत्थर सर पे गिर कर मरा तो कोई पत्थर पे खुद गिर कर मरता है. They are different deaths, not same. है ना? Somebody's head, the stone has fallen. Somebody has fallen on the stone. They are not same. But it appears to be they all died in the same fashion. No. कोई पैनिक से मरते हैं, कोई सांस रुक कर मरता है. In those type of calamities I am talking. So what? So they all, these jivas, they have gone into their different next respective next generation, next destinations, next place to stay, and they continue it. पशु योनि, पक्षी योनि, जो भी मिलना है मिलेगा. अब look from this spiritual standpoint, we won't become so miserable, isn't it? Huh? The condolence meetings, all that, in that person's great contribution, that is spoken for inspiration for those who have not yet gone. And that's it, to express the gratitude, to maintain that dignity of recognizing somebody's contribution while they are alive. Those संताप सभाएं चलो होते हैं, होने दो. That's all. And the family, children, they do the shraddhadi karma, shastrokta. But where is the need or chance for misery if we see from the adhyatmic standpoint? Isn't it? So, so too another example of the health issues. Isn't it? Health also, the best health will be there. The कभी कभी problem वाला health होता है. Some will have perennial misses disease only for some long time. In all the three cases, when the health is very good, the samsari type of people, they misuse in indulgence only in all the bhog. चलो वहां घूमते हैं, यहाँ जाते हैं, ये खाते हैं, वो भोग करते हैं, एवरीथिंग वर्ल्डली पीपल्स वे हैव सीन. अगेन दोज हेल्थ इज कभी ठीक नहीं है, हमेशा उस तरह का टेंशन. व्हेन दे आर इन द हेल्थ दे आर वरीड अबाउट पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है. पिछले हफ्ते इस दिन ना ऐसा ही हुआ था मुझे, वहम वाले हो जाते हो, है ना. उन दिनों में कुछ चीज मैंने खाया, बस तबीयत खराब हो गई, टेंशन वरी. एंड दोज हुज हेल्थ इज बेड ridden, अब उनका क्या कहना, दे ओनली मोस्ट मिजरेबल with all the questions to the Lord. Oh Lord, why this is only to me? मतलब it should have come to you or somebody else. मुझे ही क्यों? Isn't it? So much of pathetic they become in their psyche. है ना? Seeing those very many of the diseases of the sharira. And waki, there will be some misery also. Running to the hospitals, getting admitted, treated, come home, stay 3 4 days, again go. Children are in abroad, or how long they take care. Maybe your son has love, but not necessary the daughter-in-law will have. Children, grandchildren are busy. अब ये सारा तमाशा. Now see it from the Adhyatmika Drushti. When the health is very good, you have fully engaged in Adhyatmik sadhana. मीडियाकर में है तो भगवान गिविंग ए हिंट to start becoming sakshi to even the sharira. Then too many of diseases, just to avoid it, only Bhagwan Nama. Dawa liya or dua manga. Dawa liya, dua manga. Bas. So much in the mind, the divine thought is there that when the body is left by us, is not even known to us. ऐसा होना चाहिए. Not in the dukkha, not in being attached to someone that we should spend our last years of the life in Bhagavad Smarana. That's what is the meaning, no, of the shloka. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshaya tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yuddhacha maya arpita manobuddhi. Remember this too. The spiritual life is my arpita mano buddhi. Mind and intellect are totally offered to the Saguna Paramatma in bhakti, the Nirguna Paramatma in chintana, contemplation. That is the spirituality in a nutshell. So one can, when he does, इसी वही है ना अर्थ, सुख में दुख में सुमिरन सम करे, दुख में करे न कोई. दिस द पॉइंट. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काय को है. Everywhere. So we have seen the financial matter, we have seen the social status aspect, we have seen somebody's death near and dear ones, we have seen our own health conditions. Like that, any of the issue, you know, look it from Adhyatmika Drushti. That's the thought today. So somebody insulted. What exactly meaning of insult? That you are so and so, he has not recognized you. He has recognized you the other way around. So try to tell him why what you thought I am not so, I am this. If he listens, listen, it doesn't matter. Non-spiritual way of looking at is making an issue. And in the mind, suffering. Please remember, you put an attempt, one or two, to patch up if something happens, even though your mistake is not there, or even if it is there. Twice, thrice you tried. अब नहीं बन रहा है बात, if the other person not responding, to understand that उनसे हमारा नाता खत्म हो गया इस जिंदगी के लिए. whoever he may be, it can be your own son. नाराज हो गया हो, वो बात नहीं कर रहा हो, 4 5 बार करो, because he is a son, 10 times you do. If still is not, हो गया बस. Not necessary that we have to be with another jiva throughout life. नहीं हो सकता है. इसलिए आप आपके जितने जिगरी दोस्त थे चाइल्डहुड में, यूथहुड में, मेरा हर दिन सो प्रूफ. There is no reason other than prarabdha both to come together as well as to get separate. You never fought with each other. बस हो गया वो, उसका उधर ट्रांसफर हो गया, मेरा इधर हो गया. He has become busy in his business and wife and children. You have become busy. In the same way, every relation, everywhere. We try little bit from our side. तो हुआ नहीं तो leave it. है ना? People insulting us or disrespecting us, disregarding us, non-inviting us to such things. How to look at spiritual is this way. All in all the time mind should be occupied with the spiritual divine thought only. So, main thing is we are engaged in spiritual sadhana. Don't forget it. While being in sadhana, when such things happen, how to respond spiritually was the discussion. Basically, I am doing my adhyatma. At that time, these things will happen. So how to look at them from the adhyatmic drushti? Make a habit. The outcome is we are always in the remembrance of adhyatmikata, which is the greatest gain. You know, if we can develop that attitude of looking everything from adhyatmic drushti, है ना, उसमें फिर प्रारब्ध दृष्टि इज देयर, पुरुषार्थ दृष्टि इज देयर, है ना, अंतकरण शुद्धि दृष्टि इज देयर, वैराग्य दृष्टि इज देयर. तो टू गेट अस ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर हैपनिंग इन द वर्ल्ड. एंड वाकई वही बात, जब हमको दिमाग खुलने लगता है ना, when the intellect starts truly opening, spiritually opening, na, all these secrets start getting revealed to us. That everything that's happening is only to push us spiritually ahead. वो पता चल जाता है. वो उस दिन फिर रियल जन्मदिन है, रियल फेस्टिवल है. उस दिन से लेकर होएगा वो. For that only we are sharpening our intellect through studying the shastras every day. ये शास्त्र अध्ययन से ये वाली सूक्ष्म बुद्धि धीरे धीरे ओपन हो जाएगी. सो देयरफॉर look from the adhyatmika दृष्टिकोण. Anything, any problem, whatever it is. And then the higher adhyatmika दृष्टिकोण, जो we have not discussed much today, but every day we are discussing, is what? In this world, from the absolute standpoint, everything is happening without happening. सब कुछ बिना होते हुए हो रहा है और कोई उसका विशेष वैल्यू देने वाला कॉन्सिक्वेंस नहीं है. देयर इज नो importance given to be given consequence, but it's going on just like that, no purpose. है ना? Why the Lord created the world? Just without the uddesha. In our Shwethashwathara Upanishad only we have studied it couple of days back. है ना? बहुधा अनेकान वर्णान अनेकान, so निहितार्थो विदधाति ददाति. निहितार्थः, no purpose. This is the highest way of looking at spirituality, isn't it? It just happened. Why attribute purpose? But when you start looking at the things as they are, without elongating the emotions of the mind, notions of the intellect, then there's no problem. Just things are happening, there's nothing to be purpose to be attributed, isn't it? Now, yesterday's Gita class, day before yesterday, today we were talking that also. For a jnani, there is no karma, means there is no purpose. For ajnani, there is a purpose, therefore there is a karma. नैव कुर्वन् न कारयन्, न कारयति है ना, कथम स पुरुष पार्थ कम घातयति हन्ति कम. There is no purpose for it. A knowledgeable person enjoys doing the things in life. To be happy is his purpose. He is already in that. Things are happening, that's it. And in that, कभी सक्सेस, कभी फेल्यूर, कभी अच्छा काम, कभी कम अच्छा काम, चलता ही रहता है. So what? है ना? No value. This is called samasthiti. No value given to the pairs of opposite, because one complements the other. One thing has come today, the other day other will come. Today it was great success, the other day great failure. Great success has value in comparison with the failure only. These dvaitas stay together, go together, isn't it? So a wise person knows it. Therefore, सुख में झूलेंगे नहीं, दुख में भूलेंगे नहीं, balance करें. So in this way, think more about how to look from adhyatmika drushti everything. Even people come to us for solutions, tell from the adhyatmika drushti only. कोई आके कहते मानो मेरा इतना पैसे नुकसान हो गया, फर्स्ट आस्क हिम डू यू हैव मनी फॉर योर सर्वाइवल. हाँ वो तो है, देन थैंक गॉड तुमको ही छोड़ना था पैसे, नहीं दिया तुमने तो भगवान ने खुद छुड़वाया. अब डोंट वरी अबाउट व्हाट इज गॉन. नो नो, जैसे भज गोविंद में कहते हैं ना, वहां करो नहीं, मूढ़ जही ही धनागम तृष्णा कुरु सद्बुद्धि मनसी वितृष्णा. अब पता चला ना नथिंग परमानेंट, नो परमानेंट इज ओनली परमात्मा. Focus on it. You tell him. It's the best suggestion to save yourself whether the other fellow listens or not. That's why we give only spiritual solutions. Whether others are capable to accept it or not, that is their prarabdha. मैं क्या करूं? Their intelligence. But I am here only to give answer from Adhyatmika Drishti. Whether they are oldies, youngsters, middle-aged people, any problem, any type of it, education related problem, फाइनेंस रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम, फैमिली रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम, सबका एक आध्यात्मिक दृष्टि से ही आंसर देते हैं. बिकॉज बेसिकली दैट इज द ट्रूथ, दैट बिकॉज द लैक ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल नॉलेज और विजन, that all problems are popping up, cropping up. Like the lack of immunity causes every bacteria to attack and we get diseases. Strong immunity hai, so you may be around all those infectious places, but you come safe because immunity is strong. Vedanta is immunity, spirituality is immunity. If one has got it, anywhere he goes, he won't create problems. He will not be trapped in the problems. Therefore, that is the ultimate drishti. That's why Bhagavan, देखो गीता में, Arjuna asked the mundane thing: should I fight the war or not? What is right, you tell me. Bhagavan did not answer that. He gave only entire spiritual subject only he taught throughout Gita. See the contrast? Arjuna asks about killing and killing, getting killed. युद्ध के बाद भगवान उपनिषद का ज्ञान दे रहे, नायम मंति नान्यते. Isn't it? Like Parikshita asked the problem, Bhagavan gave only spiritual answer. Isn't it? Every the Upanishad mein everywhere, wherever even the problems appear to be worldly, solutions are only spiritual. But spirituality is the final dissolution of all problems that we have to digest one day very soon. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Hunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Amsarashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. येरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः हृदये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं. जगतीमवितुं गलिताकृतयो विचरन्ति महामहसच्चलतः अहिमांशटिवात्रविभासि गुरो भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तं ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्यप्राप्ति सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगति सनातनधर्मस्थापकानां निरन्तरदिग्विजयार्थमनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नमध्ये कृष्णयजुर्वेदे श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाद्य शङ्करभाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानंदम निराधारम निखिलाधारम अव्ययम निगमाद्यगतम नित्यम नीलकंठम नमाम्यहम्। ओम सहनावतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः। फ्रेंड्स, 19, 20, 21, 22 up to 18 we saw yesterday. 19 say ओम नैनमूर्ध्वं न तिर्यं च न मध्ये परिजग्रभतो न तस्य प्रतिमा अस्ति यस्य नाम महत् यशः न सन्दृशे तिष्ठति रूपमस्य न चक्षुषा पश्यति कश्चनैनं हृदा हृदि स्तं मनसा य एनम् एवं विदुरमृतास्ते वन्दे अजात इत्येवं कश्चिद्भीरुः प्रपद्यते रुद्रयत्ते दक्षिणं मुखं तेन मां पाहि नित्यं मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषी मानो गोषु मानो अश्वेषु रीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वधीः हविष्मन्ता सदमित्वा हवामहे। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So chantings are done. Very good exercise it is at our level of impurities to purify evolutions to assure the evolution. Now, Krishna Vasudeva, yesterday we have seen the thing is, logic is what? In the before a creation, Sat Brahma alone was there. When the creation gets dissolved, Sat Brahman alone will be there. During the time of the creation manifested, the Adhisthana for everything is Sat Brahma. These three intellectual explanations should lead to a very important consequence in our understanding, which is very, very crucial, which is very, very important and valuable. And that is, everything therefore is Brahman only. Isn't it? Yasmat sa eva srashta, yasmat tasminneva layaha, tasmat saha eva sarvam, saha eva sarvam. As we said yesterday before, people say this sentence of Bhagwan Sak Bhagwan, but they don't know the logic. Therefore, that saying remains only as emotion without changing the life of samsara. सब कुछ भगवान है ऐसा इमोशनली कहने से नहीं होता ना. क्यों कह रहे हो ऐसा? क्यों? Because everything has come from him, going back into him. At the time of staying also, he alone is there as substrate. Therefore, everything must be him only, with his own Shakti in various forms, which was said in the first mantra. Ya ekaha varnaha bauda Shakti yogat varnan anekan nihitartho dadat. So, from the ignorance level of the only world is real, there is nothing called as God, to this highest wisdom level we have to come to that everything is Paramatma only. The whole world is Paramatma immanent. But it is not the solution. The solution is the Paramatma transcendental. Because in the immanent, continuous changes are happening which are intolerable, non-acceptable to us. These continuous changes, instead of becoming cause of misery, should become the source of entertainment to us. When we discover the never-changing substrate, the transcendental truth. है कि नहीं? अधिष्ठान ब्रह्म को जानने के बाद, like the women when they take the gold ornaments to goldsmith, now like elderly ladies especially above 65 70 65 अपने आभूषण वो पिघलवा के for their grandchildren they make some small little things. कल गोल्ड का दाम इंडिया में 1,02,000 रुपए हुआ. Touched 1 lakh. 10 grams. So when she does it, she won't be worried miserable because she knows the substratum, the gold is intact. The only thing is, I was wearing these or that bangles, इतना heavy है. When the children they can't, so इसके लिए 3 granddaughters are there. 2 बेटी के, 1 बेटी के. चलो एक के लिए कान का, एक के लिए नाक का, एक के लिए और कुछ बना दो. Substratum is same. Think in the same way, transcendental truth, when it is apprehended intellectually also and applied, then the immanent is accepted as Paramatma and all changes that are happening. होता है कि नहीं बोलो? So therefore, learn the art of seeing Paramatma immanent, transcendental, and also immanent also. He alone is everything. To give us the training like in Gita, 7th chapter, 9th chapter, 10th chapter, Vibhutis were told for us to practice. 7th chapter में पुण्यो गंधा पृथिव्याम च तेजस्यास्मि विभासौ इत्यादि. 9th chapter में पिताहमस्य जगतः माता धाता इत्यादि. Whole 10th chapter 80-85 विभूतिस are given. हम आत्मा गुणाकेश से लेकर यद्यद् विभूति मत्सत्वम श्रीमदोर्जितम एवं. And that Gita is a Sara of the Upanishad only. From Upanishad only Gita has come. Therefore, the original thought for what Krishna said to do the Vibhuti Upasana is here found. Like in this, many Upanishads it was already told. Ata samudra gireshya sarve asmat sanjante sindhavah sarvarupaha. In Mundaga Upanishad also we have exhaustively seen. Here also the list is given. That is तदेव अग्निः तदादित्यः तद्वायुः तदुचन्द्रमाः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्म तदापः तत्प्रजापतिः. All the divine celestial things, right from Hiranyagarbha, Virat Purusha, then आंखों से दिखने वाले सूर्य चंद्र इत्यादि, all of them are Tad Brahma only, Tad Brahma only, Tad Brahma only that. And we have made it a very clear thing. Surya is not Brahman, then the Brahman is Surya. थोड़ा इसको ध्यान से पकड़ना, सबको नहीं मिलता है ऐसा वाला knowledge. Many people don't get. They just get to listen this from the gurus. Hey Bhagwan, Surya bhi Parabrahma hai, Chandra bhi Parabrahma hai. So in that Surya and Chandra are given value more than Parabrahma. But what said by Upanishad is, Parabrahman alone is Surya and Parabrahman is in Chandra. In that, the Parabrahma is given more importance. Practice should be like that. है कि नहीं? कृष्ण भगवान को अपने पुत्र में in your mind do the palana, poshana, love. Don't call your Nikrushta Putra as Krishna. There's a difference. Krishna you can take as your son and love, not your son as Krishna and forget Krishna. There's a difference in it, no? In taking Krishna as your Putra, you just develop that Matruvatsalya Bhava. In taking your son or grandson as Krishna, one, you are holding on to the attachment to the grandson. Second, you are pulling Krishna to this level. दोनों तरह का क्राइम होता है वो, मतलब नॉन साधना. You have to be very careful while talking, while listening. That's why so much of subtlety, sharpness required. So Shruti Mata said. Now see the intelligence again of Shruti Mata. In this mantra we were given the initial practice. इसमें Tat is Brahma, Tat Surya, Tad Aditya, everything is Brahma. Now with the practice is done, now that Tat becomes a Tvam now in the next shloka. You understand the improvement in the teachings, therefore the improvement in the practice of the sadhaka. In the earlier mantra number 2, Tat bola tha, मतलब वो, Tat Brahma only this, Tat Brahma only this. Now in this mantra, Tat से त्वम में आ गए, मतलब he is addressing the Brahman directly. ये ब्रह्मन त्वम स्त्री त्वम पुमान त्वम कुमारः त्वम कुमारी त्वं जीर्णः त्वं दंडेन वंचसि त्वं जातः भवसि त्वं विश्रुतो मुखः भवसि. तो मोर प्रॉक्सिमिटी, तत् इज वेरी फार. त्वम मतलब बहुत पास में आ गए. सो परमात्मा को तत्व से त्वम में लाओ, त्वम से अहम में ले आना. फ्रॉम द तत्व टू द त्वम, फ्रॉम द त्वम टू अहम. दिस इज द जर्नी ऑफ परमात्मा. वी हैव टू ब्रिंग the understanding about Paramatma in us should be from he is nowhere there to he is there as Tadrupena, then he is there as Tvam Rupena, and he alone is Aham. Good. Now the next one was Neelaha Patangaha Tvameva. Then Haritaha Loitakshaha Tvameva. Tvameva you have to add everywhere. That's what Bhagavan said. Tvameva iti sarvatra sambhadyate. So, Hiranyagarbhadi, we have seen Paramatma. Stri, Puman, all human beings, we have seen Paramatma. Then this Neela Patanga Harita Loitakshaha, the Brahmara. Paramatma, you alone are there in the form of Brahmara. Paramatma, you alone are there in the form of this Tota Maina, etc. Then Tvameva Neela Patangaha Brahmaraha Patanat Gachati iti Patangaha Haritaha Loitakshaha Shukadi Nikrushtaha Praninaha Tvameva ityartaha. Then the natural things. Already said Panchamamutas. One more. Tadit Garbaha Meghaha. Then Rutavaha is a Kala. Samudra, the water source of life. Yasmad Tvameva Sarvasya Atma Bhutaha. Why all that is said? Because for everything you are the self. And the thing which we miss in life, therefore in spirituality, or in spirituality, therefore in life, is this. Remember, this 2000 times we discussed in our last 9000 classes. What is it? Calling the wood as chair is sin, is a mistake. But calling the chair as wood is not mistake. Isn't it? Calling the wood as chair is not the absolute thing, but it is utility value है, इसलिए मैं कर लो चलो ठीक है. बट चेयर को वुड कहना ये गलत नहीं है, तो सत्य है ना. In the same way, the Atman of everything is Paramatma. Therefore, everything is Paramatma. What's wrong in saying that? For the sake of Leela, it is Ishvara. For the sake of our utility, we. To that Paramatma, we might have given Rupa Nama. But by that, is it that the substratum is totally gone, that we forget that? ये वाला मेन थॉट है वेदांत का. That's what he started with, two shlokas back. That you are the srashta of everything. Everything goes back into you. Therefore, everything is you only. That's how it started. Conclusion भी वही देखो कि यस्मात् त्वमेव सर्वस्य आत्मभूता. Because you are the self of all, therefore you alone have to be everything. Because the gold is the self of all ornaments, therefore all ornaments must be gold only. Gold only must be all ornaments. See that delusion. Examples जब कहते हैं, we are able to apprehend it. But when it is the same thing we talk about, the whole universe is nothing but Brahman, there we are faltering. That is why this knowledge has to be deeply heard, understood, accepted, practiced. Heart in heart. This is called meditation. In meditation, what do? We practice the knowledge which we gain that because the Atman is the self of everything, therefore everything is Paramatma only. Paramatma alone is everything. So the predominant thought now for us is the Rupa Nama, but through the Abhyasa, the predominant understanding in us should be that Paramatma alone is first, then everything. Paramatma उस रूप में. Don't miss the Paramatma anchor. Then you get flooded in the Moha Maya of the Kalpita Rupa Nama on Paramatma. This is called ignorance. This is called samsara. Practice करना पड़ता है. Imagine after 5 years of everyday's practice from now on, you are seeing everything as Brahman. Then that Brahman is me. Therefore, everything is me. Therefore, there is nothing to lose or gain. Therefore, there is no Raga, Dvesha, Kama, Krodha. Therefore, there is no Karma, karma phala, therefore there is no samsara. All that after 10 years should go away from me and I should revel in the bliss of the Atman. If that is our goal, this is a practice from today we have to do. Without doing this abhyasa, by default, we do the other abhyasa of devaluing the reality and valuing the name and form. When we value the names forms, naturally the raga, dvesha, adi precipitate in the mind. They prompt us to do the karma, we are bound by the karma phala, then the janma marana samsara. Janma and marana are no problem. Or Jia Mara, Janam problem is in between. Between Janma to the Marana, the Natanki which goes on happening, that's the problem, which we can't avoid. जन्म क्या है बस लिया है मरण क्या है एक को छोड़ के गए they are minimum problem but between with the things with the beings with the situation with the happenings tossed up like the rudderless boat in the ocean which is waving and tiding and breaking है कि वो एक बड़े ओशन में घमासान लहर है तो उसमें जहाज है जिसका कोई चलाने वाला नहीं है कैसा होता है इन द सेम वे इज अवर लाइफ बिटवीन बर्थ एंड डेथ isn't it everywhere and I don't want to explain it because it becomes too mundane and samsaric you all are wise to understand it isn't it अब कौन से कपड़े जूते ले आएंगे माता पिता पता नहीं बस पहनना ही पड़ता है कौन से स्कूल में डालेंगे पता नहीं जाना ही पड़ता है कौन से वैन में भेजेंगे जाना ही पड़ता है कौन टीचर्स पढ़ाएंगे सुनना ही पड़ता है वेयर इज द फ्रीडम इन which subject we get seat in further we don't know करना ही पड़ता which job we get which company we get who is the boss who are the colleagues किसको freedom है बोलो are we not tossed up that way without our choice then somebody will come as wife or husband and some will come as children and chipko unse or get the kicks every day what else we are doing somebody is brother and sister we can't choose them whoever is the झेलना ही पड़ेगा बाहर नाटक करते हैं प्यार का अंदर then everybody is his own hero himself is hero is it not which is the neighborhood we don't know और बाप रे that is like the life is rudder that is the result of karma done because of ragadesha is done because the world is taken as reality why because the reality is not realized think यस्मात् सर्व तमेव सर्वस्य आत्मभूतः तस्मात् therefore अनादिः त्वमेव you know you are the self of everyone therefore you are not having any adi to you there is no thing called as cause to you so you are the causeless self of all causeless cause of all you directly addressing the self there is more intimacy when you address directly rather than saying tat tat so twameva and this if you take Shruti Mata is telling us then it becomes first person that she is addressing me beta tum hi ho sabke atma so yasmat tvameva sarvasya atmabhutah tasmat anadihi tvameva you are adi rahita not only that tvameva adi anta shunyah you are anadi means you don't have any cause and adi anta shunyah means what you don't get modified into anything you are as you are you don't have cause therefore you don't begin you don't end see, I am the cause of all. Point one. Two, I don't have cause of anything. Three, I don't get birth. Four, I don't die. सबका कारण मैं हूं मेरा कारण कोई नहीं है मेरा जन्म नहीं होता मेरा मरण नहीं होता वो हूं मैं सर्वस्य आत्मोधा तस्माद अनाधि त्वमेव त्वमेव आद्यंत शून्यः then vibhutvena means vyapakatvena you alone are there sarva vyapakaha and yataha jatani bhuvanani vishwani from you only are manifested the ananta koti brahmandas that is why that picture is given to us in kaivalya upanishad in viveka chudamani that I am that Brahman, which is like an ocean, not notion, which is like an ocean in which the Ananta Koti Brahmandas are rising and dissolving like the Ananta Koti waves are rising and dissolving in the ocean. मयि अखंड सुख अंबोधौ बहुधा विश्व विचय उत्पद्यन्ते विलीयन्ते माया मारुत विभ्रमात्. Because of the winds of Maya, in me, the infinite ocean of consciousness, the immeasurable, uncountable number of worlds and universes are projected, manifested, and rejected, dissolved. See, वही कह रहे विभुत्वेन व्यापकत्वेन यतः जातानि भुवनानि विश्वानि. That big our intellect has to be to apprehend this. That subtle it has to be. है ना? Just to 3 steps only. The whole worlds are rising and dissolving in space. Step 1. The space is getting manifested and unmanifested in the mind. Step 2. The mind is also the expressing and dissolved in the pure conscious self. That's all. I am that conscious self in which the mind is expressing and dissolving. And mind is the one in which the space is manifest and dissolving. In the space, through the medium of, through the expression of the Vayu, Agni, all of them are space only. Space grossified is Vayu, Vayu grossified is Agni, Agni grossified is Jala, Jala grossified is Prithvi. So in the space only, Prithvyava Tejo Vayu, Nirmita, Ananta Koti, Brahmandas, and in all of them the Vastus are manifesting and unmanifesting. So whole world is in the space, space is in the mind is in the pure consciousness. That conscious self is me. That is the meaning of Vibhutvena, Vyapakatvena, Yatha Jatani Bhuvanani Vishwani. That is the last line, Yato Jatani Bhuvanani. Anadimatvam Vibhutvena Vartase, Yatha Jatani Bhuvanani Vishwa. Of that we have seen the Bhashyam. Very, very powerful. Contemplation करते हुए उस ट्रुथ पे हमारा श्रद्धा बढ़ना चाहिए. First understand and then increase the shraddha in the presence of the truth and start valuing it, giving it. These two things, developing shraddha and giving value to the reality. Is it happening or not in us as a result of our so regular study of Shastra? Shraddha and importance. With that, we try to comprehend or apprehend or realize it on the seat of meditation. And when we follow the process as told of the Anvaya Vyatireka Ityadi, we will be able to realize it one day. Correct? Now comes Prakriti और जीव के संबंध का विचार. We have done the fourth mantra in which everything is Paramatma told. है ना? The last में भ्रमर, तोता इत्यादि. Before that, Manushya ityadi. Before that, Devata ityadi. All are Tvameva, Tvameva, Tadeva, Tadeva. Beginning and end is what? Beginning is, He is the creator of everything, everything goes back into Him. Same thing inside, in other words, toward the end is what? You being the Atman of everything. Yasmat Tvameva Atmabhutaha Sarvasya. Yasmat Tvameva Sarvasya Atmabhutaha Tasmat. There's some more added thoughts, very powerful. What is it? You don't have any cost to you. Tasmat anadi tvameva. Therefore, there is no cost to you. Tvameva, again, adyanta shunyaha. You are neither having adi, the birth, anta, the death. So you are the Atma of everyone, therefore you are cause of everyone. Point 1. 2, you don't have the cost. Therefore, third one, you are not born. Fourth one, you don't die. Then who are you in general? Vibhutvena vyaptaha. So Vibhutvena vyapakatvena vartase. You are the one who is there, sarva vyapaka, sarva desha, sarva kala, everywhere vyapaka. In such a manner that yatha jatani bhuvanani vishwani. So basically it is you, the Sat Brahma, which is infinitely permeated. In him only, because of his own Shakti, a different places in that consciousness, as if like in different places in the space, the Ananta Koti Brahmandas or the solar systems, they are rising and going. Go further, in that pure conscious Paramatma only, all these Bhuvanani, Vishwani, Jataha, and they are getting dissolved. Hold on to that Sadvastu, which is more permeating subtler than even the space, more infinite than the space. है ना? थोड़ा थोड़ा ट्राई करते रहने से वो खुलने लगता है. The buddhi gets opened up to be able to comprehend. Then on the meditational seat, the apprehension. Comprehension is intellectual understanding, apprehension is direct experience. Okay, let us chant this mantra. कि इदानीं तेज अप अन्न लक्षणां प्रकृतिं छान्दोग्य उपनिषद प्रसिद्धां अजारूपकल्पनया दर्शयति. So in this next shloka, the Prakriti is being spoken. And how? By entangled in Prakriti, we get bound. At that time we are as Jiva. Not entangled in the Prakriti, we are able to free from its clutches, then we are Mukta. ये दोनों बातें इसमें होंगे. Chant the mantra. Tomorrow we'll study exhaustively. अजामेकां लोहित शुक्ल कृष्णां बह्वीः प्रजाः सृजमानां सरूपाः अजो हि कोजुषमाणोऽनुसेते शेते जहात्येनां भुक्तभोगामजोऽन्यः. Very sublime. Vedanta is mystical. For that, that mystical type of intellect is needed, not a worldly type of intellect to understand. We're all struggling every day to study Shastras only to get that intellect by the grace of that Shruti Mata, Guru, Ishwara and the Parabrahma Tattva. अभी नहीं हुआ, अभी जब होगा तब होगा, करते रहो बस. At that level of understanding, what is said in each mantra is understood in a very different, deeper way. Not like looking at everything from the worldly standpoint and giving worldly explanation. Like some people talk about Gita only in the worldly language. Gita for worldly success. Are Buddhu, Gita is for moksha, but he can't think Gita like that. Because his mind is trained like that to say. But those in mind intellects are very sublime. Even in the worldly things, they see the Paramatma. यही फर्क है. परमात्मा में जगत को देखना सांसारिक का लक्षण है, तो जगत में परमात्मा को देखना साधक का लक्षण. Let us see tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevava Shishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti Matre Tatsat Brahma Arpanamastu. Come after 5 minutes to study Gita.